determine where I thought the fracture was, because I've got to find that fracture, which is just the crack where the skull is indented. And we'd come in here and I'd cut back the scalp, like so, and we'd peel it back, just out of the way. Oh, fantastic. Is it dinner time? And then, once I had that done, then it's time for the fun to begin. Alright, so you'll notice this is just a little circular saw blade. Anybody see the spike in the middle? Any carpenters here? Anybody ever tried to do this by hand on a piece of wood? Any idea why that spike is there? It guides it, thank you. Because if you try to do it without the spike and you're turning, it's going to drift all around, it's just simple stuff. As a matter of fact, you'll notice it's flat right there on the end. So if I need to, I can give it a couple of taps to get it started. And then we just do this number. So what we would do is, please don't scream, we would start to make the hole like so.
He's going to need that hammer, man.
And then once I'm satisfied that I've got the hole started well, then I'm going to take this out. Then I get to stop. And we'll come over here. There's a small key that is made specifically for the purpose of removing this spike, and you'll see it goes right on top. Just like so. And by the way, I've just stopped in the middle of surgery to take this out. There we go. Alright, then we're going to finish up. And we're going to, like so. Every once in a while I have to stop to blow out the bone dust. You don't want that in there. And then once we're done, once I'm satisfied that I've made it through the bone. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that along the line of the fracture is where I make the hole. That's where I'm making that hole, along the line of the fracture, because I want to be on either side. I want to have a little space underneath on either side to be able to get to it. And then I can use an elevator. Oh look, I had this in my mouth earlier. I might wipe it off, I'm not a heathen. And then we would place this very carefully just below the bone. Careful not to puncture the dura mater, which is the material just on top of the brain. And we would lift those pieces of bone back into that proper position so that the bone could heal. Alright, now, this is actually a very ancient form of surgery. They find brass versions of this fella right here. This is called a trophene, by the way. I forgot to introduce it. And they found brass versions of this in ruins of old ancient Rome from the days of Julius Caesar and whatnot. You've probably heard of him if you hear tales from storybooks. But actually, it comes from, they find Aztec skulls as well, with holes in them, trophene like this. And the worst thing is that they can tell that the patient survived it, because where the hole in the skull is, they look at the skull and that hole has begun to knit back just a bit. Now, he couldn't live long enough for that hole to knit all the way back. It's just, I don't think he could live long enough for that. But he could survive it. And people survive this all the time. I always tell patients that more people die from want of the trophene than from the trophene itself. So, thank you, Ben. You did magnificently.
What about the hole there?
There was very. Oh yes. Oh, sorry.
About all that blood.
I mean, you know, like in
Oh
Master
yeah. Sorry.
Commander.
Let's dog that off.
You know, like in a movie, Master Commander, they showed that dude. They did the thing with his
Ask
head,
if you have a
took out the
bald
chunk and fixed the bone. And
Doctor,
then
it's them his brains.
They were hammering out that silver coin and was going to peg that over the hole.
Yeah, that was
Did they actually do that?
That is not uncommon. As a matter of fact, there's a story. I don't remember who the fellow was, but there was an officer who apparently thanked